Hey y'all, it's January 20th. It is -7 degrees out, and I'm going to go out and try to start some grapevine cuttings. So come along with me. Hey buddy, it is so cold. But you want to start some grapevine cuttings. That way they'll be ready to go in the ground in April, hopefully. So this is the grapevine, the big one that I got a bunch of stuff off of. And you want to find like pencil thick cuttings. So let's look over here. This, if I let this fruit, and I'll be doing a video later, let's get up in here. You want to leave at least 2 nodes, 1, 2 of new growth. This is right there. So I'll cut just above that. Make sure it's green, and it is. So it's alive, and then we'll just kind of pull it loose from the mother plant. It's caught on some right here. And we're gonna get some cuttings from this. Ooh, it's holding on. Dang, this is a long one. Okay. Is that everything? Alright, we'll get several cuttings from this, and then I need to think in terms of I'm going to prune this, so I don't want to take anything that I'm potentially going to keep for this coming season. This one right here could probably go because this is going to be my main trunk right here, and this is going to be a main trunk. I want to have 2 main trunks coming from it. So again, I'm going to go up. Well, that might not be thick enough. Right here's one. Actually, this one right here is perfect. So we'll go 2 nodes, 1, 2. And we're going to take this one. Find a thin place. It's like really stuck to this other one. It's so cold out here. Where's the one I just cut? Right here. You gotta pry it loose from the other vines. There's actually one down here that I can take too. We're gonna take this from the base if I can get it. So we'll have two more. All right, let's get this cut away. We'll be back. All right, we got plenty of cuttings that we can get from these. So they all have the green bottoms, so they should be good to take cuttings from. So what I'm going to do is go up 4 nodes, like 1, 2, 3, and there's one back here, 4, and then I'm going to cut, and that'll be 1 cutting. So let's get this done. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cut, and I'm going to make sure I know what's top and bottom. And we'll do it again. We'll just work with 1 at a time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cut. And then let's proceed to get all this done, then we'll be back. So this is what we got. Some of these are a little thin for my liking, but I'm going to experiment and see if they take root. I've heard sometimes the thinner ones can root a little bit easier, but we'll see. So make sure you know what's up and down. I just kept them stacked as I cut, and make sure they all have green at the bottom to show life. This is the parts that I cut off. You can see some of these even had a bunch of fruits from last year. So what we're going to do next is I have grafting tape, and I'm going to tape off the tops of all these cuts to keep the moisture in, and then I'm going to dip them in some rooting hormone, and put them in some seed starting mix. All right, let's get started. So I've got my grafting tape. What are you doing? Okay, Mommy's working. All right, Daisy, say hi. Hi. All right, I gotta work. All right, so I've got my grafting tape and everybody's joining in. Hi, Chewbacca. Hi, baby. I love you. Oh my goodness, they're everywhere. All right, Chewbacca, what's your baby? I love you. So here's my, I got them on my back too. I'm gonna take a piece about this long. Okay. Cut it. And this is really stretchy too, so so for every top of this, and this has a little bit of some stuff I need to cut off there to make it more smooth. So I'm going to wrap this top, and this will keep the moisture in so it doesn't dry out. I don't think it's going to really dry out because it's going to be in a sealed up container, but this is just kind of like a precautionary measure. So just wrapping it. Let me get that up a little bit. And then when you get to the tip, kind of stretch it, and then I will tie this off. Okay, there you go. So that's the first one. Now what some people do, sometimes if they don't have grafting tape, they use candle wax. I'm not going to do that. I don't like putting really hot stuff on something like this, so we're just going to tie off the tops like that. And I have my container here that I rooted the figs in, and this is seed starting mix in a closed container, and it has been moistened. So let's look. And y'all, I got more rooting. So the only, and I have 2 other different type of cuttings in here, but I only had 2 figs, and I had 22 altogether, and 20 of those already rooted and are in cups in the previous video that I did. So this is the last 2, and this one's already getting green. So before we proceed, let's pull this one out. I don't want to get these mixed up, so we'll do this. Here we go. You can see there is some rooting here from the figs. So let's see if they've done anything new. This one actually is rooting, I mean, there and there. So I could technically probably put it in a cup that deep. But yeah, I might do that here in a minute because I think I can go ahead and get that one in. And then we have this other one right here. Let's see. Yeah, it's starting to root. Look at that. See that? So we could put it in about, you know, that deep and let it continue because there's roots through there too. So we'll get those potted up. And this is just two cuttings I took from oh gosh, a mulberry plant. And I just stuck them in here, so, I mean, that's them. We could just leave those in here buried and see what happens. They haven't been in here very long at all. So, now we have a clean slate for let's get our first one in. Sorry about that. Shoot. Okay, these dogs are not wanting me to do anything today. Look. All of them. And then there's Biscuit over here. Y'all, I feel like I'm going stir crazy because of this weather. It just is not, it's just never going to thaw out. And I'm just daydreaming about spring. And you know, at first I didn't want any more of these muscadine grapes, but after I sampled the homemade wine that I made from them and the homemade jelly, and they both were really, really good. So I decided, see how I fold that over that crevice there to seal it in. So I decided that I was going to grow more because it's actually pretty good. And I did order several, I think there was five or six, I can't remember, maybe 6 different table grape varieties from online. So I'll have those as my table grapes, and then I can grow these as my wine grapes and jelly making grapes. So there you go, another one's down. So what is everybody doing right now to keep from going stir crazy? Boop, boop. Put your comments below. Tell me what you're doing. I'm thinking also I have a bunch of pawpaw seeds that I might winter sow. So I'm still debating. I don't know if I'm going to winter sow those or if I'll just put them over a heat mat. They've been in the refrigerator. Come on. They've been in the refrigerator cold stratifying for 3.5 months, so we're pretty much at the deadline for those two. It's so cold out right now, I don't want to put them out there because we're like sub-zero right now in Kentucky. There we go, got another one. Nice little grape cutting. But I'm excited. So I'm gonna get all these done and count them and see how many I've got, and get them in this tray. And I will keep this lid on, and I'll check on it once a week. And hopefully within 3 weeks I'll have roots. We'll see. So let's get that done. We'll be back. All right, so we've got our seed starting mix ready. I left a little layer in the bottom, and then I've got some that I'm going to pour over my rooting powder and on my cuttings. So I've had them sitting in water for a couple of hours. Now we're ready to get them rooted up. So I'll take my first cutting, dip it like that, and just lay it like this. No really magic way to do this, but second one, dip it, lay it like that. So I'll proceed to do this with all of these cuttings, and then we'll be right back. All right, it looks like complete chaos, but I know my tops are the plastic ends, so I'm just going to fill in this side with some seed starting mix. Just kind of dump it in here, dump it in over here, and it will settle. So this will allow them to root on the proper ends. And then after I get this all filled in on both sides, we'll get the lid on, and I'll just check on this weekly, and hopefully within 3 weeks I'll have some rooted cuttings. They really like the level of moisture when you do this, and it's airy. The seed starting mix is, you don't want nothing heavy. So that should be it. I want to cover up that plastic end, and they may very well form some roots higher up. That's perfectly fine. We'll just bury them even deeper whenever I put them in their pots. I do see one right here that I need to adjust. let's put it down right in there. And then fill that with soil. Okay, we'll finish getting this all covered, and I'll come right back. Okay, so put our lid on, and I think I counted, if I counted correctly, there's 34 cuttings in here, so we'll leave our lid on, put this off to the side. It's got plenty of moisture in here, and we'll check it every week until they start forming roots. Once we start getting roots, then I'll start putting those, potting those up. Okay, so what am I going to do with all of these grapes? These are muscadine grapes. So with the one plant that I have, I'm going to keep maybe 2 of these and sell the rest at the next farmer swap in the spring. So with 3 muscadine grape vines that I would have, each one can make up to 6 gallons of grapes. That's a lot of jelly that you can make and sell or give away to friends and family. So that's a pretty good trade-off. One thing too, this is kind of a little fun fact. If you were a winemaker, I have made wine from my plants from last year from 2 vines. I had a little over, it was like 12 gallons of wine that I made. So that's a lot. But if you were to make all of that into wine, each grapevine can make around 6 gallons of grapes. Each gallon is 6 bottles of wine. So that's, if I had 3, that's 18 gallons of grapes, which equals a little over 100 bottles of wine just from those 3 grapevines if I were to turn that every bit into wine. So that's kind of like give you a little idea of the numbers in terms of what you can do with these grapes. Or you can make it all into jelly. It's just whatever you want. But I guess it's something that's fun to try. If you had space to put in your yard. Each one doesn't really have to take up a lot of space. You can have your post with your vine and some kind of wire system going each way, and let the trunk extend out about 8 feet, 8 to 10 feet at most, and then you have your grapes growing off of that, and you can create 2 cordons, going each way, 8 feet each way, or I have mine at the ends, 2 cordons growing one up above the other. So, it doesn't take up a lot of space, but that's how you do root grapevines, and that's a little fun fact about what you can do with those grapes that you grow. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.